Hello everybody and welcome back to another video for the day. We are heading back into r/AmITheDevil, and if you guys would love to be absolutely amazing, show your support and see more videos like this one in the near future, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below to start up them wholesome internet discussions, and if you guys have not already, subscribe to the channel and turn on them notifications. Also, if you guys would like to save 10% on your next order of gamer subs, use code Tommy at checkout or click the link down below. It'll automatically apply the discount to your transaction and it helps support the channel. Thank you. Am I the a-hole for telling my friend that he doesn't love me and criticizing the way that he tried to comfort me? English, not my first language. I, 21F, was going through a really emotional time and opened up to a close friend. Let's call him Hans, 22F. I cried a lot and was genuinely hurting. He tried to comfort me, but the way that he did it made me feel worse, not better. And when I expressed that, it turned into a full-blown argument. He said things like, "You're better with them because you're my gamer, my builder," and used light jokes when I was in a vulnerable place. I didn't want jokes or shallow reassurances. I needed emotional support. So I told him, calmly, that I didn't feel helped by the way that he responded. Instead of asking how he could do better, he immediately got defensive. He said things like, "I tried my best, I came to you, I said nice things," and made it about how I was being ungrateful. He told me that I was selfish and an a-hole for complaining after he did so much. I reminded him that when he hurt me in the past, I often waited to talk about it, giving him space and prioritizing his feelings. I never made those moments about me. But now that I needed to care, he did it all about how I wasn't appreciating him. I used an example. If someone serves you food with onions and you don't like onions, you can say, "Please don't add onions next time." They can either say, "Okay, I'll adjust," or "I did that with love, and now you're just complaining?" Hans always chooses the second option. Instead of listening, he takes it personally and turns it into guilt. I told him that if someone said they were hurt, you listen. You don't argue or defend. You change your approach for the next time, because you care. But he kept insisting that I was immature, selfish, and toxic for not accepting his way of comforting me. He said things like, "I only respect those who deserve respect," implying that I never did. And I told him love is a choice. It is painful sometimes. It means prioritizing someone else's well-being, not just your own. And in that moment, I didn't feel loved. I felt like he was centering himself instead of being there for me. At the end, he gave me an ultimatum. He wouldn't say good morning the next day. He told me to reread our conversation, and if I still thought that he was wrong, if I still believed he hurt me, even without meaning to, then I shouldn't message him anymore. He said my good morning would either be a fresh start or the end of everything. So, am I the a-hole for saying that he doesn't love me and criticizing how he tried to comfort me? Edit. We talked a lot, and I apologized to him for the way that I had complained earlier, but it is my right to complain about something. If you don't like hugs when you are crying and someone hugs you, are you wrong for saying that I'd rather you not hug me? And I didn't say a bunch of things, and I only knew how to complain about him. I just said that I didn't like one thing that he did. Don't know how to interpret it. Also, thanks for the constructive criticism. It's always thoughtful when somebody tries to be there for you, but you can't expect them to read your mind and everything whenever everything happens. Like, if you're not okay with something, or like if there's a way that you would not want to be comforted, good to voice that in a way that's not bashing them or anything of the sort. However, also at the same time, if they're getting defensive on that, there might be history already in the past that was not disclosed in the post itself. Because if this was the first time that there was all this stuff going on, then I don't think that there would be an ultimatum that would be applied here. Hopefully things got better after you guys talked about it, and you guys are still friends and are able to communicate things in an effective manner where nobody gets upset on either side. It probably would be better, in order to have somebody in a professional manner evaluate how you've been feeling, probably is better to go towards a therapist than your friend, because with the person who would be there as a therapist is very much able to analyze how you're feeling on a deeper level. And if you are actually going through things, it's not a bad idea. I got a therapist myself. Helps me talk about things and get things off my chest whenever I'm having stuff that just outright makes me feel crappy. Am I the a-hole for expecting my partner's brother to ask before having his boyfriend stay overnight? I, 22F, feel awful even writing this, but I need to vent. I live with my partner, 21M, and his younger brother, 19M. He's my close friend and like a little brother. We're all university students, and since I have the highest paying part-time job, I cover a lot of the expenses, and also take care of groceries, bills, renting/house hunting, and general coordination, since I'm the oldest. We've had our differences in the past, because he can be immature and inconsiderate, but I still care a lot about him. Recently, I found out that he's been in a relationship for over a year, and that his partner has even stayed at our place multiple times without my partner or me knowing while we were in the house. I was shocked and hurt, not because he's dating, but because I wasn't told that someone was in the house. I'm usually relaxed at home, e.g. no bra, no makeup, but I'd present myself differently for a guest. I understand that he might have felt awkward sharing, but it's still uncomfortable to learn this way and kind of disrespectful. I'd also like to add that I am Chinese and may have different values and standards of respect than them. To make things worse, his partner comes over, doesn't say much, and stays mostly in his room. I've met him once, briefly. He stayed over recently for 2 nights while my partner and I were out, and I only found out through my partner, not him, right before we came back home, when we came home, that he was still there. Now he's staying again, and my partner is leaving for work, meaning I'll be with both of them. I don't think he's necessarily going to do something, but I feel extremely uneasy. My partner and I are already overwhelmed with school, and I've been dealing with very grim personal medical issues, so this just adds to the stress. And to be honest, I look and feel like crap. His brother also told us to not ask us that he was coming over this Wednesday, 2 days ago, and leaving Friday, today. I didn't say what time or anything. I didn't even buy enough food for dinner because I thought that he was leaving. I texted his brother asking if his partner could leave before my partner has to work in 2 hours, and also asked if he's planning to come next week. He replied, no, he has schoolwork, which upset me more. It felt inconsiderate given my partner and I also have work and a house inspection coming up, which he knows about. I have asked him to maybe have his boyfriend leave, but now he's not responding and is ignoring me now, and I think I'm maybe the a-hole here because it's probably hard for him to come out with a boyfriend since it's his first time, and maybe I might seem a bit too controlling since it's his relationship and it's also his house too. P.S. His parents are paying for him and his brother, and so are mine for me. My partner agrees it's uncomfortable, but thinks that I'm overreacting. I feel either crazy or like the only adult in the house. Update, this is insane. There is a lot of misinformation here, and I've posted on only 2 separate threads, and then comments have been civil and normal. 1. Me talking about paying more and contributing more isn't my way of controlling. I am just saying that I'm more the adult/older sister, which is why it was weird that he didn't tell me beforehand, so I was a little upset because we aren't just roommates, we are family. I'm borderline married to his brother at the point, and I also take care of his little brother because I love him, but I agree that adding that point there is definitely irrelevant. 2. I have been nothing but nice. I've cooked and made sure that he ate. I very politely asked, hey, do you think maybe you could leave a little earlier, like before nighttime? I didn't get dinner. 3. The problem isn't now or having him over at all. It's expecting some courtesy because, first of all, again, he has been in our house multiple times without us knowing. While we were in the house, he was a stranger. And it isn't just me. My partner doesn't like conflict, so he just leaves it to me. It was making him uncomfortable too. Of course, I thought that it would be nice to have his brother give us a heads up, and if he asked us, we could schedule a time to leave the house so that they have it to themselves. It's not permission, it's just so that we can plan things together. It's also polite because we've established that if we have someone over, we would ask if the other person is comfortable. And it's also common sense. 4. This is not just a roommate situation. He also almost exclusively does everything with us. We eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner together, like a family, and he also wanted to eat dinner with while his boyfriend was over. So, he wanted to include him whilst we weren't ready. That's the awkward part. 5. Also, I've just understood something. This might be a cultural issue, because when I posted this on another forum in my native language, the responses have been very, very, very different. I am Chinese, and the brothers are ethnically Asian but born in a Western country. They still retain a lot of Asian house rules and values, but not to the extent that I do. They have never brought any guests over, and they keep to themselves. Plus, our parents are the type to have curfews for us, even when we are older than 20, so 7 p.m. is late. It is our responsibility that our guests/friends get home safe, and it is also courtesy so their parents can have them home, at least early enough for dinner. Maybe this is overbearing to a lot of people, but since I've been ingrained in all 3 of us, we understand it better. We also don't leave the house past 10 p.m. if that gives you any more context. 3 years older, and you have family members covering the rent. I don't really think you're in any sense of a authority figure to anybody else living there over anybody else living there. At the end of the day, y'all are just roommates, and yeah, you say that you earn more money and all, but you're not contributing the money towards the bill from what it seems you've been describing, then that just really seems like you've just decided that because you make more at your job, that means your word means more than the other people that happen to live there. It would be one thing if you were paying the entirety of the rent all on your own and you just happen to have allowed them to live there, because at that point it would be like your house, your rules kind of thing, but that is not the case. Would I be the a-hole for going on vacation instead of best friend's wedding? Hi everyone, I posted recently, you can view the post on my page if you would like, about an impulsive Iceland trip that I booked for May 16th through the 22nd. And I could really use more advice because something huge just came up that made the decision even harder. I had just started talking myself back into going. I figured we could still make most of it and have a unique trip together. I was able to get the last week off paid from my nanny job, and it wouldn't interfere with my other trips that I have planned this year. But literally yesterday, I realized I completely forgot to put my best friend's wedding on my calendar, and it's on May 17th, right on the day that we would get there. We've been friends since 4th grade, over 14 years. And even though we don't hang out super often anymore, a couple of times a year, mostly due to a busy adult life, I still consider her my longest and best friend. I already missed her bridal shower earlier this year because of another conflict, and I'm scared that missing the wedding too might really hurt her, and possibly damage our friendship long term. To add another emotional layer, the trip falls just a few weeks before my boyfriend and I's 1-year anniversary. It was starting to feel like this big, grand adventure to make the milestone. He's the first person that I've seriously traveled with, and we've never done a full trip just the 2 of us. That definitely makes the idea of going extra or feeling extra special. But but part of me wonders if there could still have a sweet, meaningful weekend trip somewhere closer a few weeks later. Maybe Niagara Falls or upstate New York? That wouldn't cost as much or come with all the emotional baggage. So now I'm stuck between going on the Iceland trip, risking disappointment and possibly hurting my friend and missing her wedding, canceling the trip, losing $900, but being there for someone that I care about, and saving money and stress overall. Would I be terrible if I went on the trip now that I'm feeling like it could be good? My boyfriend is fully supportive of whatever I decide, even if we lose the money. I'm just feeling emotionally exhausted and completely torn. I don't want to disappoint anyone, including myself, but I also don't want to force a trip that I'm not excited about anymore. Thanks so much for reading. I appreciate any help. So even though you only see them like twice a year, it's not like you aren't talking to each other, and considering how frequent and prevalent social media is, it's not like you would have seen any type of notification or anything about the event coming up or anything of the sort. No, that would be, hey. The planning the trip part, I kind of feel like might have not been on social media as much, so I could very much feel like either something was completely oblivious or something of the sort where they probably told you about it, but you might have not registered at the time. Not really sure what to really say about that one. Kind of feels like that might have been a lack on your paying attention part. Hopefully there's some kind of thing that you can work on with the travel company about how the plans for that went, and you'd be able to try to reschedule things for the vacation, so that way everybody wins in the end. You get to go to the event that your friend has planned, which is very much a significant plan and does not exactly happen frequently, and then at the end of it all, you're still able to go on your trip. How do I, 21M, get my brother, 26M, to not marry his girlfriend, 26F? TLDR, they have been together for about 4 to 5 years. My brother's girlfriend provides nothing to their relationship and has caused him to regress as a person in every aspect of life: health, career, social, mental, etc. Being supportive of his bad situation to keep him there. She has no good habits and no personality except whatever he likes. He wants to marry her, and I need to talk to him about why it's not a good idea. He's got enough of his own problems to deal with, and all she does is make them worse or add more. She's not explicitly rude or evil, in fact, quite the opposite, but is only weighing him down. And she knows this, so does everything she can to make him feel supported instead of pushing him to better himself. My brother and I are really close, and always have been since we were young. We have both had multiple relationships before, but his current girlfriend is not good for him, and both me and my parents, his parents too obviously, do not think that she is good for him, but are unsure about how to let him know this. They first dated in college/university for about a year. He broke up with her, and then she stalked and followed him, which culminated in her going to his place unannounced and having a mental breakdown, which he helped by comforting her, but resulted in him failing his next exam, which he had the next day. He didn't tell anyone that this happened until much later, by which time she had finally left him alone. Fast forward about 2 years, and he goes to his master's in another college, where sure enough, she is. She finds out and somehow convinces him that she's changed and will be different, so they get back together. Neither I nor our parents or anyone else knew this happened, so couldn't do anything until it was too late. I started college, so am away and can't really figure out if she actually has changed or what. My parents are polite to her, but still don't think that she's good for him after what happened. During their time together, while she is studying his master's, she basically lives with him, which does not make his roommate happy, as they didn't sign up for a fourth roommate. One of the worst of her traits, besides her obsessive stalking, is that she has terrible health habits. Does not eat healthy, have any real fitness or sports hobbies, or even care about her health seemingly. As a result, both he and her gain weight, which he had already been doing at university, to where they were both much larger than they were when they first started dating way back before she stalked them. She especially is very pale and extremely overweight to where she struggles to walk any normal distances. Fast forward to now, he is living at home. I'm at college, and she lives at home with her family about 5 hours away. Her health has worsened significantly to the point where she can't do anything and cannot work even a part-time job, and struggles to even move around. It is not solely because she has unhealthy habits, but does have 3 separate health conditions, although I am fairly certain they are a result of her bad health habits in her younger years. She is only 26 with the mobility and health of a 70-year-old person. My brother is also in not good condition and has gained a lot of weight, which both me and my parents are trying to get him in the gym diet, etc., which has been mostly good, but a slow progress. Sorry for the long intro, but this was needed context. He has mentioned on multiple occasions over the past couple of years that he sees himself moving to a city near where she lives, getting an apartment, and they live together and eventually get married. Why this is a bad idea? He already struggles with being healthy and has significant self-image issues and really hates how he looks. Her unhealthy habits were one of the reasons him being the way he is now, and I guarantee that it would only worsen if they lived together. She has a degree and wanted to go into family law, but with her health condition not looking to be solved in the next few years, yes, it's really going to take that long. She won't be in any position for a long time to provide in any way, and would be doing the same thing that she has this whole time, nothing. Over the years, I have spent probably the least amount of time with her compared to my parents, but I can still tell that she just does not have much going on. I have no malice against her, but her only interests are that my brother likes conveniently and just does whatever he likes to keep him satisfied. She has no real personality or hobbies that I know of, and I don't think that she can really learn to grow as a person from her. I know this as any sort of personal growth have been stunted from him in the last few years, which is from multiple things, but she is definitely a contributing factor. She sends letters and flowers to our house with these long, vapid love letters about how amazing he is and how in love with him that she is. As his brother, I have seen his growth over the years and can honestly say that he has been at his worst these last few years, and I know she is just spewing out whatever lovey-dovey stuff that she thinks he wants to hear. Me and my parents have spoken in lengths on how to speak to him about this, and how she really does not bring much to the table and would only reinforce his bad habits with her worse habits. Apart from the crazy stalking that she did years ago, which I have brought up, but he claims that she's changed, so it's okay. She has not done anything overtly wrong that is easy to call her out on, as she is nothing but nice and supportive of him. I think it's because she knows that she's not doing great, and keeping him there and telling him everything is great what will keep him around as he gets worse and worse. She does not want him to get better, but I can't outright say that without looking like I'm out to get him. My father has now outright said that he does not think him marrying her is a good idea. And now that that cat is out of the bag, I know I need to speak to him about it. He has friends, but most are in different parts of the country with jobs and their own lives, so he rarely sees them. The one guy that he does see regularly is a bad role model for him in his own right, and thinks that she's fine, so there's nobody else really except me and my parents who see both of him and her regularly, so can talk to him about this. I love my brother and want the best for him, and all I've seen him do from their relationship is regress in growth as a person in almost every aspect of his life. Oh yes, I don't have any malice against this person. Meanwhile, you just made 2 screenshots worth of a post, just saying such. And you barely know the person, but let's make an assumption essay based on them. But with that is going to have to be with the video. If you guys would love to be absolutely amazing, show your support and see more videos like this one in the near future, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below to start up them wholesome internet discussions, And if you guys have not already, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications. I'll be sure to see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye.